Good afternoon. Thought I'd do a little live training, which I normally do over on my Facebook group, but yeah, I'll do it on there as well. And the training I wanted to do today is around whether you believe in the God of not. And you might be thinking, who the hell is the God of not? But it's something that I think many of us wrestle with, and I've certainly wrestled with for decades. And it's this notion that hello, Margie, how lovely to see you. That we are more focused on what we don't do, haven't done, shouldn't do, might not do, might not have done. We get very, very fixed on what we're not doing. Hello, Shirley Massage UK. And that is understandable. Because we get very fixed on what we're not doing, we're doing something wrong, we're doing something badly, we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, doing something someone else doesn't want us to do. We're basically not doing something. And it's a really subtle but incredibly simple step to take to change everything from the God of not to the God of what. In other words, a subtle shift that says, I will pay more attention in my day and in my life to what I do and what I do well. Oh, that challenges the whole unworthiness bit, doesn't it? I will focus on what I do well. I will focus on the fact that I've damn well done whatever it is. I will only focus on what I do, what I've done, what's working, instead of what isn't. Now, this can run counter, especially in business, to everything other people tell you around focusing on failure, learning from mistakes. Let's look at what you did wrong. Let's look at what you could improve here. But when you're in a highly anxious state, looking at what you did wrong and what you could improve can keep you kind of locked in that heavy shoulder, I can't be bothered, life's too hard state. And, when you're overwhelmed with any kind of brain fog or menopausal anxiety or self-doubt, that doesn't help. So I used this, an example of someone I was working with recently, and she does great work with clients, really great work. And although she's had clients for a long time and they choose to work with her, they could work with anybody, they choose to work with her, she still went through that whole, oh yeah, I could have done this, I didn't do that, and I didn't do the other, and that could have been better. And yes, it could. And yes, you can get good learning from that. But I said, how about flipping it? Why don't you tell me, why don't you tell yourself, what were all the key things that I did really well? I don't even think about because they're just easy for me. I did them well. Focus on that. And if you only do that one subtle shift in your day, in this hour, maybe just think, okay, for the next hour, I'm going to notice what I do instead of what I'm not doing. I'm going to recognize and value what I've done today, even if it's just like, well, there was just one thing I got up. If that's it, that's what you focus on. Get your brain accustomed. There is a process called reticular activating system that underpins a lot of this, but get your brain accustomed to focusing on what you do rather than what you don't do, and what you do well in particular. And that does require a little bit of a, turning off the old, yeah, you can't really do anything well, can you? What do you think? Who do you think you are? All of those voices. But, genuinely just taking the pressure off a little and going, what have I done today? And, if I take an example from my day, what have I done today? Not a lot to the outsider. I got dressed. I'm going for a walk in a moment. I'm doing this video with you, which is lovely. And I'm really glad you're here. I'm working through something called The Work. If you've never heard of Byron Katie, please check her out. She's amazing. And can I think of anything else? No. Does that mean I've done nothing else? No, I do need to focus a little more on what I've done. But it's important that I don't focus on what I haven't done, because it would be so easy for me to go into, Oh, but you didn't do a podcast, and you didn't do a blog, and you didn't do that training you were going to do, and you didn't get in touch, and you haven't done any social media. This is the first bit you've done, blah, 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 blah. And how does that make you feel? Rubbish. So if you've been worshipping the God of not, it is time, my friends, to start worshipping the God of what you do. And just begin there, just what you do. But as you grow into it a little, start, puffing out your shoulders back a little, grow into it in the sense that you not only recognize you do things, but that you do them quite well, maybe really well, and keep focusing on those. And if all you do is that, if you just make that one small subtle change of focusing on what you do instead of what you don't do, it will have a cumulatively dramatic improvement in your sense of well-being, in your sense of self, and in your day-to-day life. So there, my friends, is my challenge for you today. Take the next hour to either think about what you've done already in the day, or just focus on this next hour. And if what you're doing is staying calm, and that's a challenge, then go, yeah, well done me. I stayed calm. I focused on what I did, which was staying calm. I had a nice conversation with my neighbour, my children, my parents. I had a nice conversation. Oh, yeah, I did that well. I did that well. That's what I did rather than what I didn't do. I hope this makes sense. It does help. It's these tiny, tiny shifts make such dramatic differences. So give it a go. Let me know how you get on. Leave any comments or questions in the... Can you do this on the Instagram? Yeah, you can. Leave a comment, leave a question, and I will record something, or I'll message you back very soon. Oh, look, someone else has just joined us and we were just heading off. Does anyone want to stop and have a chat? I'm going out for a walk. Anyone else doing that this afternoon? Going for a walk? I hate, I'm looking at myself. This is very contrary to what I'm just saying. You see, there was a classic. I was going to go into, I'm not looking so good. There was a not instead of a what. The what is, I turned on my camera and I went with the imperfection of the light and what looks like a spacecraft above my head, and decided I would do this anyway. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Love you too. Don't know how you do that. I still haven't got the hang of Instagram. And I think a lot of the people that follow me haven't really got the hang of Instagram, because I know with that message thing, that, okay, some of you may know this is teaching you to suck eggs. That little paper airplane symbol, for people of my generation, that doesn't really compute with send a message. Took me ages before I figured that out and found these hidden messages. And then when you get in there, you've got the whole general and primary, which, primary, I guess, are meant to be your friends, and general is everything else. But if you don't notice those tabs there, you miss. I've found lurking and languishing in my inbox, or whatever you call it, messages from way back. So if you've ever sent me a message and it's taken eons, or you think someone should have messaged you and you think, well, they haven't, how rude, take a look at the little paper airplane, little wander in to your Instagram inbox, whatever, and you might find lurking in there are little tabs and some messages from people you thought had never messaged you, but actually have. Anyway, I'm going to head off into the sunshine. It was last time I looked. I'm going to have a lovely walk, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been really nice having some company here, and take care. I will speak to you some point soon. All right, bye for now.